Hello and welcome to episode 300 of the Whatnauts review show. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, round two. We're we're trying again for episode 300. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm wary. We have less preparation time this time. So we did a whole episode 300 spectacular, you and me. Then you found that your audio did not record and the video recorded silently. So we can see you and we can see and hear me, but you cannot be heard.
My main recording didn't work. My backup to the backup didn't work. Like it just completely was like, yeah, you know what? Nah, not gonna.
But you're
happen.
certain tonight. How many backups do you have tonight? 3?
Yes, I am running our usual amount of backups, which is pretty good. But Audacity is working this time. I can see everything bumping and moving up and down, all that stuff. So we're good to go this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We determined our original idea would be less effective if we just did it again. We still have all our materials. So what I said to you was that we didn't lose in episode 300. We just did extra work preparing for episode 400. Some of that we can reuse and update. Recycling.
Yeah, we can sprinkle it in here and there. It might even be worth just being like, hey, here's one of the lists that we had on this one here. But yeah, it just goes to show you that even after 10 years of podcasting, 300 episodes on a single show, stuff can still go wrong. So it happens. It happens for sure. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. You do indeed. I have some more whiskey with me on this one too.
Very classy.
A little bit of Buffalo Trace.
Very nice.
This time, yeah.
I'm drinking a frozen mudslide out of a novelty Halloween cup.
Nice. A frozen mudslide. What is in that?
Chocolate and liquor. I bought it a while ago. It's been in my freezer. You've heard of this. You've heard of those two things? Did you know they were good together?
Yes. I mean, when I think of a mudslide, I think of like Oreo pudding with chocolate, like that kind of stuff, like an actual
for children
dessert thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like chocolate ice cream, Kahlua, like vanilla vodka, maybe like a Bailey's thrown in there. I imagine every city has its own frozen slushy place.
Probably.
Now.
Yeah.
Ours is Narwhal's. I don't know how many places Narwhal's is. Maybe you also have a Narwhal's, but this is one of theirs. Keeps in the freezer beautifully. Just go buy a big one, drink some of it that night, work your way through it. Save it in the freezer for a special occasion, like when you have to record your second episode 300.
Indeed. Good stuff. Tonight, since it is episode 300, a big milestone, the episodes is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. We're normally obviously reviewing something, some movie, some TV show, comic book, anime, who knows what. Originally, we had come up with a bunch of lists of different things. It could be our top 3 of the most colorful things we've watched, or our top 10 bad boys of all the things that we've watched and read, all that stuff. We came up with all of these things. I had 150. Melissa had 150 things. That was our extravaganza. But since that might not play as well the second time, Melissa, when I was like, we might have to do something else, you had something like locked and loaded of like, I'm saving this one for down the road somewhere. But it was a great one. It was like, hey, let's make a theme park based on all of the stuff that we've read and watched and reviewed here on the show. We need to think of rides and food and attractions and people that might be walking around, characters.
Yes, walk around characters, not just like guests. Like we don't just decide that one day Unbreakable from the movie Unbreakable comes here with his family.
Right, yeah. And then what might be in like a museum at this theme park here, like what
exhibits and things. Yeah,
stuff like that.
Thank you for letting me run with this because I am a big theme park nerd. I've got my many ears on now to prove it. You are less, but you tolerate me talking about it.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to hear more theme park talk, go check out our captain's log, in which that comes up frequently. So
I update you on the news.
You do.
There's going to be more. Just watch out for Epic Universe next year. There's going to be a whole bunch.
Now, Melissa, off the top, when we started our first attempt of this, you had this little like poem thing.
You want me to do it again?
Do you still have that? Because that was amazing. I do still have one. We at least need to share with everyone.
It's not a poem.
Some of it rhymed.
Some of us. You're Kinda. Right. Some of it rhymes. That's what counts as poem. We've covered it all here on the review show in our 300 episodes. From Infinity Gauntlet to The Infinite Loop to Looper. From Titans to Remember the Titans to Titan AE to Titanic to Titan. From Bubble to Rubber. From The Tick to John Wick. From Persona to Plutona. From Castle Rock to Attack the Block. From Essex County to Harrow County. From The Queen's Gambit to King Falls AM to Gravity Falls to The Drops of God to From American Gods to American Vampire to An American Werewolf in London to Angels in America to Wet Hot American Summer. From Black Swan to Black Hammer. From The Devil is a Part-Timer to The Devil All the Time. Devil, congratulations on that well-earned promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full-time health insurance for Devil. From E.T. to FLCL to RRR. From The Watermelon Woman to Brand New Cherry Flavor. From Umbrella Academy to The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. From The Fantastic Four to Dimension 404 to The Fifth Element to The House of Five Leaves to Big Hero 6 to Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands to 8-Bit Christmas to Ben 10 to Pen 15 to Mob Psycho 100 to The $1 Billion Code. These are just some of our 300 episodes, our 299 episodes, all our beloved topics and mostly forgotten topics that I just pulled because the title rhymes with something. Yeah. Can you tell me what happened in Plutona anymore? I can't.
I can.
Good for you.
They find a dead body in the woods and they're like, hey, come check this out. I think it's a dead superhero.
There's been the density of content here, of knowledge that we have to carry, content for our brains. The fact that I've forgotten something is not a slam on it. You just reach a wet sponge point and you're like, sponge too wet, can't get wetter. Can't recall new thing.
Something comes in, something else has to go out.
Right. Sorry.
Do you want to at least give people a quick taste of these lists? I figured we could do maybe one of them now. Maybe save one for our like end of the year Grand Prix. Do some more stuff like that. Maybe on our Rotten Tomatoes movie. We'll sprinkle them in and out. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. If you're good. Audience, if you behave and you get straight A's, we'll give you one of our lost lists.
Indeed. That sounds great.
Let's see. Should I read my top 10 bad boys?
Sure. That was a great one.
These are my top 10 bad boys. Dr. Doom, Lex Luthor, Venom, Megamind, Mewtwo, Dracula, Hannibal Lecter, Lucifer, Blackbeard, and Robert the Tire from Rubber, the sentient psychic tire.
Perfect.
Who falls in love.
A real rounded character. Indeed. Well, I can do my top 5 sad sacks list.
This was my favorite one you did.
It's a good one. Number 1, we got Jackson Lamb from Slow Horses. I think he is an incredible sad sack, and Slow Horses season 4 just came out like yesterday or the day before as of us recording this. So more Slow Horses for everyone to enjoy.
More horses, even slower.
Yeah. Miles from Sideways. This is the movie starring Paul Giamatti on his sad sack bachelor trip to wine country.
His friend's bachelor trip.
True.
The 2-person bachelor trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Up next, I have Abe Lincoln from Clone High. Because he is just... Man, he's such a pushover. He's so easily like heartbroken and left behind by everyone in that show.
Can't live up to the real Abe Lincoln.
Exactly. After that, I have Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, Peter Parker from Spider-Man Blue, specifically the one from Spider-Man Blue. Because he is very sad about Gwen Stacy in that one. So that is my top 5 sad sacks.
Very well assembled. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Cool. So yeah, that's a little small taste of our lists for you. But let's get on to this theme park.
Yes. I am fascinated with what we are going to come up with today, because when we did our lists, you and I both came to the table with complete lists that we just read at each other. Mm-hmm. This is I've got some stuff written down, but this is going to be a lot more improv-y. We're going to brainstorm tonight.
I came prepared. I've
got some stuff. Yeah. I'm happy. And I'm very curious what your reference points are.
Sure.
And where you think we should start?
Well, any good theme park, I guess the first thing you have to talk about are the rides. Let's start there.
Okay.
Let's start there with some interesting rides. So I don't know how specific you got with all of the stuff. Certain things of mine are specific. Certain ones are a little more vague of like, I'd like something along those lines. I don't know what it is exactly.
Yes.
But I'll start off with, I would like one of those like shooting rides that you get in the cart for, and it can do that.
Yes.
For Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
Oh, I went very obvious and I wrote a John Wick shooting ride, but I like the idea of Valerian
too. Yeah.
Then you're just shooting like Russian gangsters. You can shoot anything in Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
And it'd be colorful and bright, and you're in space on a different planet, and Rihanna is there for some reason. I don't know.
Never forget Rihanna in that movie. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. That's a deep pull. Mm-hmm, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a John Wick shooting gallery, but that's more creative.
Yeah,
I feel like
there's plenty of things that we covered that you could at least do like more of the like carnival ride thing. Like here's the like water gun thing, or go for it.
I started thinking about different lands we would have in our theme park.
Okay.
In Reviewtopia or whatever it is we call it. You know, Disneyland and Disney World both have the multiple lands where it's like, here's Main Street USA.
Sure, yeah.
Here's Tomorrowland and Frontierland and Adventureland. I want to have a full recreation and expansion on. We're going to do it even better than they had it in the show. I want to recreate Fun Society, the arcade they're hanging out in Mr. Robot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That abandoned Coney Island. Not all of Coney Island is abandoned. It's not a dystopian future in that regard. They're just in one arcade, disused arcade, and using that as their secret society headquarters. I want to recreate Fun Society, and I want to have sort of a fun pier where we've got different themed carnival booths, and one of them I want to be Uncle Rico's football throw.
Yeah, great. Love it. That's fantastic.
And maybe there we've got a John Wick, like you shoot a water gun,
right? Yeah,
and a motorcycle goes.
Yeah. I mean,
you win a stuffed dog.
Yeah,
stuffed dog, big prize, small prize, one of those coins.
Yeah, exactly. That you can then turn in at one of the gift shops for something or who knows what.
We'll have review bucks.
Yeah.
Are there any other lands you would like to see while we're on the topic?
Well, I feel like the obvious one would be like Hello Tomorrow, which it like would be the like equivalent of like the Tomorrowland.
Right. I want an amalgamated future world that's going to be part Hello Tomorrow, part Venture Brothers.
Sure, yeah.
Part the one alternate dimension in French. Anytime we've gone to the future or somebody is trying to create tomorrow's future today, we put that in a land.
Yeah. Or even just like a retro future sci-fi stuff would fit in perfect with that. Let's see here. Let's do this one. For a roller coaster, I myself happen to not be a big roller coaster fan.
Me either.
But I thought a neat one would be Mob Psycho 100.
Okay.
Especially with his like meter rising, could be like the different lengths of the like ups and downs on the coaster, right?
I'd have that as another carnival attraction where you hit the
hammer.
You use the big mallet, and he hits a bell.
See how strong you can
How
get.
Psychic are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought like the big roller coaster drop on a Mob Psycho 100 would be a lot of fun here. You get that sound effect as you're crawling up that big long slope to get up there, right?
That is one of the best theme songs we've encountered. I would love to go on a roller coaster set to the Mob Psycho 100 theme song.
Yeah, good stuff.
Now this makes my pick seem very obvious. I want a speed racer coaster.
Yeah, that'd be fun too. I didn't even think of that one. Other coasters I have some. This is one I was a little more vague because this could go. You have options with this.
Yeah.
You could do some kind of Mission Impossible coaster or a drop, right? Or you could just do a stunt show. Like have some like every hour is a stunt, the Mission Impossible stunt show that they do.
This has been one of my biggest questions is which property gets the stunt show, because these are the existing stunt shows. Universal Studios Hollywood has one for Waterworld. You know Waterworld, that not very successful 90s movie? Well, it became a very successful stunt show. That's been running 30 straight years. Everyone loves Waterworld, the stunt show. And they have a new one in Orlando that's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
And that one uses a lot of screens in a way where when I watch clips of it online, I think there's just a couple actors on stage and they're like fighting against a screen, but it looks like they are fighting a real guy.
Cool.
It's like some sort of trick of the lighting.
Yeah.
Where they make it look like there is truly more people on the stage than there are. It's cool. Really mystifying. I'm like, what's the right scale for a stunt show? Because Mission Impossible is like, there's so many. The scale's too big. You can't really copy him climbing the Burj Khalifa. You can't really copy the halo jump. They're these massive set piece things. Or like in the first movie when he drops down on the wire, I guess you could do that, but like sitting in a huge arena watching one man on one wire in one office, like it's not the same effect as it is in the movie.
Yeah, I wonder if there would be a way to do like a montage of stuff where it's a recap of the franchise, and so some of the stunts happen faster and like more like, remember that one time that I did, right? And then like behind him you see the thing happen, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a speed run of it. So like the framing device to this stunt show, let's update it to Dead Reckoning. So like Ethan Hunt has to explain to Haley Atwell's character, these are all the wacky adventures we got up to before you joined the team.
Right, yeah. Where she's like deciding to trust them. Like, I don't know, like, who are you guys?
Right.
What have you done?
Right.
What have we done? Well.
And then it can be, because it's like not what actually happened, it's them retelling what happened.
Right, yeah.
It can be a little sloppy around the edges.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
My last coaster was Megamind. I feel like he'd make a great roller coaster. I have no idea what would happen on
do
that.
Anything he puts his mind to.
Yeah.
I think Megamind is a major part of the big fireworks show at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Where, let's say you can incorporate drones into these. There's very few drones in these nighttime fireworks spectaculars because there's rules on like, can you fly a drone over a person? Not really. They want it to be over like a body of water or an uninhabited area. There's weird regulations around it. But imagine just an actual recreation of the climax of Megamind, where he's a bunch of little Megamind bots that form a giant version of his head in the sky.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
They play Welcome to the Jungle. And iconic.
Good stuff. Do you have any other kinds that are like, these are the experiences, like they have the Indiana Jones like experience? Like, did you have stuff like that?
There is a attraction in Disney. I want to say it's Disneyland. I don't know if World has this or not. I'm going to be getting very pedantic about these details the whole night. But there's a theater, you sit down, you watch an animatronic, and it's called Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And I think we have great moments with teen Clone High Lincoln.
Yeah. I also have a Clone High thing. I thought not a shooting one, but a similar kind of like you get in the like cart thing. It'd be fun to take a tour of their cloning lab. Like the Clone High cloning lab. You get to see Gandhi still in ice back there.
There's Hall of Presidents. Let's have a Hall of Presidents. But it starts out normal, but then a couple minutes in, there's Nicolas Cage. So you have to hire like a Nicolas Cage lookalike performer for every time somebody goes on this attraction. And it's, I'm here to kidnap the animatronic president.
Great. That's a good one.
I also think we should have a Kantaro the Sweet Tooth Salaryman dinner theater where you eat the things. It's not a dinner theater. It's purely a dessert theater. There's no savory food sold. It's only desserts. And when you eat the desserts, it's a multi-dessert course. There is a stage show that's like what he experiences when he eats the desserts, when he goes into his mindscape and he's like, this peach cake is delicious. What I feel like I am the peach. And he imagines himself with a peach head going on peach adventures. It's that. It happens on stage in front of you. This is my equivalent of the Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review.
I have no idea what that is.
It's another Disney nerd thing.
I have something similar. The After Party, the Apple TV show. I think that would make a great like theater experience to do some like murder mystery thing. But that could also work at like a dinner mystery, murder mystery party thing there.
Not a typical thing you get in an amusement park. But let's push the boundaries here.
Yeah.
You have to solve. You don't just watch somebody sing a song about a strawberry shortcake. You have to solve a murder before you're done with your dessert.
Before Ben Schwartz ends his song, you need to solve the mystery. So I had
also at Disney.
Go ahead.
My
please.
final experiential show sort of thing. You know the Enchanted Tiki Room?
No.
Do you know those words? Enchanted Tiki Room?
I have heard those words before, yes.
You go in a room, first off, and there's all these animatronic tropical birds, and they put on a little song and they sing for you. And back in the early days, it was just the fact that there were animatronic birds that sang. Cool. And that was it. That was the whole thing. Room, birds, incredible. And I want us to have something like that, but it's the Little Shop of Horrors.
That'd be fun.
Instead of the Enchanted Tiki Room, it's just all flowers, all Audrey 2s.
Song and dance. Speaking of dance, why not an RRR dance show?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big Bollywood numbers, lots of people on stage dancing and jumping. That'd be fun. That'd be fun indeed. Let's see. That is the only other kind of like experience thing like that I have.
Who are some of the characters you want as walkarounds? Who do you want to meet?
Can I mention my last other handful of ride things that I have here? So I just because there were so many parades in the Prisoner, there just needs to be some like random prisoner themed parades. Like it'll be like his campaign play, like vote for me for number 2, and you'll just have no idea what's happening. I think
the village needs to be a whole land when we're here. You just go to the village. There's a parade constantly. There's never not a parade.
Exactly.
They take a 5-minute break to sweep the street between each parade, and that's it. It's the land of constant parade.
Yeah. They like it is constant because new actors are slowly coming in and joining as other ones are leaving, and it just keeps on going and going and going all day. It'd be wild.
It's all the Prisoner, but that's also where we put any fucked up surreal thing we've ever covered. It's anything that's too weird for school goes to the village.
Yeah, exactly. The paprika parade.
That's a good one.
It just because it's a theme park, you have to have one of those spinning pirate ships, but it's Our Flag Means Death pirate ship.
Oh, so good.
You have to have one of those.
They're so romantic, so cute.
Right.
That's the hand-holding ride.
I have 2 more. One is less so a ride, but something I thought would just be neat. Why not have a chess expert being like playing a bunch of people in chess for the Queen's Gambit?
Cool.
How fun would
there's
that be?
just the chess yard.
Yeah, and whoever wants
come to the chess yard.
Come up and start playing, and there's like that one expert who's taken on like 5 of you, right? I think that'd be neat.
Oh, I love that. Just chess demonstrations. Every competition we've ever seen, there's going to be chess. There's going to be competitive eating. There's going to be wine tasting.
Down the road.
You don't get to taste the wine. You get to watch 2 people, 2 rivals taste the wine. Just like in Drops of God. You get to watch a live Drops of God once a day.
And last but not least, there needs to be a Gravity Falls House of Mystery. One of those, like, of course. The floors are uneven, so you feel like you're twisting and all that stuff.
So hokey.
Yeah. Great stuff.
What's their foot squatch?
Sure. Yeah. Their equivalent of Bigfoot, right?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was going to say Beef Squatch, and
That
then
might
I
be it.
remembered that's Gene Belcher, but he can be there too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's also allowed.
Exactly.
You can go to an actual Bob's Burger when you're here.
Indeed. So you want characters
that can be
next?
over on. Let me go through the couple more rides I had.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll go to characters actually. I think we need a Gremlins Dark ride for sure.
This was one of my carnival games that I thought of but didn't write down.
Okay.
Like a whack-a-mole, but a whack-a-gremlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything where there's a bunch of little guys is perfect for that.
Yep.
I like the idea of a drop tower that's Clamp Tower from Gremlins 2, the new batch.
There you go. That's
and
a good
every
one.
time you open up on a new floor, it's like it's everything that's in that building. It's the science lab where Christopher Lee works. It's the TV station with the cooking show.
That'd be a really fun, like, indoor drop thing, so that when the elevators open up, you see, like, that's
thing.
Cool. Okay, I like that
for Gremlins 2. There's a ride. It barely counts as a ride. It's basically a show with different sets, but you move around stationary sets.
Sure,
the sets don't change in and out. So that's the only thing that quantifies it as a ride. This is called Carousel of Progress. This is the driest, nerdiest thing in Disney parks. I love it. So this was something that Walt Disney built for the 1964 New York World's Fair.
Okay.
It's just like an exhibit. So you sit in these seats around this theater in the round, and you watch this animatronic family through the ages, through every 20 years of the 20th century. They're like, can you believe progress today? We have this thing called a car. We have this thing called a washing machine. We have this, somebody landed on the moon. Like every 20 years you check in with the same ageless family.
Have you heard of
and see
social media?
Right. They don't get all the way. I don't think they get all the way up to there. Maybe in an abstract sense, and I think the final stage is like looking ahead. Like, what could we have then? I would love if this was Halt and Catch Fire. I think that's the nerdiest thing we have. The nerdy should go on to the nerdiest ride concept, where it's like we got so much enjoyment out of the show that's 4 people building computers for like 10 years. Yeah. That show takes a long time. It sees so many different advancements in the computer landscape. That is the structure, the skeleton of the show. So I think it would be perfect for Halt and Catch Progress.
It'd be great if like all of the information that they were giving you is just dry and bland and factual, but then it's set to their electronic intro, which is like so intense and just like, yes, this is
neon
dark.
pink lights.
This is cool.
I think Cameron's our narrator. Cameron plays the role of John Progress because she's always the one who's the most forward thinking on a societal level. She's not trying to get to the same personal next professional level the same way the other characters are. She's like, what could Mutiny Games do for humanity? She's the idealistic one. So it's Cameron's ride.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I don't know if this is enough to be a full ride or if it would just be a once a year Halloween experience that they put up, like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios.
Okay, yeah.
When I thought of settings from all the stuff we've watched that I would most like to experience, I thought, I kind of want to go in that creepy hole in the forest that's the time tunnel from Dark.
Yeah.
Remember how in Dark you have to go to this culvert in the middle of these scary German woods. You have to go through this tunnel. It's dark. It's scary in there. And then you come out the other end of the tunnel and you're in 1985 and you're someone's dad.
Right. Yeah.
What if we just made people go in that tunnel and then I don't know what we see at the end. I don't know how we'd make them go back in time.
I have 18 characters that
oh, fantastic.
that I have walking around here.
I've got one more ride, but I can say it later as like a catch-all because this can hit a lot of different things.
Okay.
What are some of the characters you want to meet?
I thought it'd be fun to see Blue-Eyed Samurai walking around.
Cool.
Yeah. I also have The Mask, just being loud and crazy, right?
A Cuban Pete happens 4 times a day.
Exactly. Maybe you will be the lucky one it happens to.
One person a day is chosen to be Cuban Pete.
I thought it would be fun to see like the Velocipaster walking around there with his
in which
girl.
form?
In like I feel like in the Velociraptor form, like when he's in this, because it'd be fun for the actor, right, to be like acting like a dinosaur the whole time, or just in that like dinosaur costume.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought the Afterlife with Archie crew would be neat to see them walking around hunting zombies and stuff. That'd be neat.
I'd love to put them in an old-timey muscle car. Not like a Fast and Furious muscle car, like an 80s teenage grease, like a 1950s teenage greaser muscle car.
Sure, yeah.
Just like an old Corvette or something, and they're in one of these parades.
Yeah.
That's a good parade float, those kids.
That is. I also had Hellboy and Abe Sapien. We have to have
good.
them.
Have both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why stop at one?
This is kind of characters walking around, but also serves a function in the park. The newsies handing out like maps and info about the stuff. Especially you'll hear me bring it up later on, but like if there's maybe like a speakeasy or a secret restaurant or something, they can be like, hey, if you give me a little extra, I can let you know. I hear there's some illegal chicken that's out there. If you want to eat good, like I can let you know the spot, but it'll cost you extra.
That's our number one restaurant is Secret Chicken Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought it would be neat to have Angeline out there like selling posters and stuff like that, right?
So we definitely have to have an Angeline billboard up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, what if there's just like how there's Main Street USA and Disney World, whatever our main thoroughfare is an Angeline billboard, and then a billboard like that for just so many other characters. It's just nothing but billboards.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm now imagining every single billboard is the exact same like sexy pose.
It's the same sexy pose, but it's like, but it's Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
It's everyone.
Yeah, it's Gene Belcher, right? Who's sitting there. I also had Red Sonja. I think she'd be a fun one to have. I had Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service.
I want to go to that bakery. Let's open that bakery.
Yeah.
Let's have a loose Tombo running around. I'd love to just have Tombo in the mix.
That'd be good. I also had Beetlejuice. He'd be a fun one, especially with the mask running around there. They'd be some. I think that'd be really exciting when those two characters cross paths, when they like happen to be in the same area. They're just, I don't know, they're high energy.
You're just watching like those two actors for hire improving the heck out of each other.
Yes.
How long can it go on? They must tire themselves out at some point, and somebody has to come break it up. You have to send in Michael Clayton to fix the situation.
Right, yeah.
There's a walk around Michael Clayton you can meet.
He doesn't look like anyone. He just has a suit. That's all.
You're you're like, if I squint, I guess that guy kind of looks like George Clooney.
No, they actually get George Clooney to come in and break it up.
He's also selling you Nespresso.
Yeah. It'd be like the Tony Hawk situation where everyone's like, man, you look a lot like Tony Hawk. They'd be like, man, you look a lot like George Clooney. I also have Agumon. You have to have some kind of like other monster characters out there. I have the Agents of Shade to have like Frankenstein and stuff like that in there.
I would love to meet Dr. Nina Mazursky.
Right.
Get her and Abe Sapien improving at each other.
Absolutely. I also had Tatsu from Way of the House Husband to see him in his apron and like shopping for stuff would be neat. The Plutonian before he goes bad, just to have like a nice Plutonian, right?
Good Plutonian.
Yeah. This is where I had Speed Racer. I feel like Speed Racer, like working on its car or running around, being like, I'd want to meet the whole.
I'd want to meet the whole family. I wouldn't like to see only one of them out. That feels lonely. That's such a tight-knit family, the whole group. I want to meet an entire household, please.
What if there's like a blocked off raceway where you could see him drive by every now and then, but often he'd also be at the garage with the rest of the family in a certain location?
Okay. Man, we have a high acting budget for this part.
Hey, we're going all out. Episode 300.
We're paying Clooney. Yeah.
My last three, the Venture family. Right. It'd be neat to see.
Again, gotta meet them all.
Yeah. To have the whole pack there, I think would be great. I also have the Tick. I think he deserves his spotlight, right?
Let's get the Tick. Let's get Arthur. Pour put upon Arthur.
And last but not least, I don't remember his name, but John Boyega's character in Attack the Block and a few of those monsters chasing him. I think that'd be fun.
I'd go to a park if it's like all I'm going to see is one of those guys in real life, one of those Attack the Block aliens. It's like, we've created that in real life. Right. We're charging you $100 to see it. I'm like,
sold.
Philip J. Fry me. Take my money.
Indeed. So that's all my characters.
That's great. I did not write down so many. I've had we had a quick turnaround time from picking this theme to coming here tonight.
Yeah.
Who I want a Gene the Cow petting zoo.
Ooh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think it's also you can have a Walter there doing you science experiments from Fringe. This is a lot of things. It's a milkshake counter. It's a chemistry lab and it's a petting zoo. It's all
how
three.
Sanitary that would be.
3 separate counters.
Yeah.
I want to meet Robert the Tire from Rubber. He's got to be here rolling around. Like Push the talking trash can, but he doesn't talk. Let's have a waterway. Let's have a lake of some kind, a Rivers of America.
Okay.
And once a day, if you're there, if you're lucky, you can see Paul Dano riding Daniel Radcliffe's farting corpse across the river, like in Swiss Army Man. It's just like a small motorboat that's dressed to look like human man.
Yeah.
Not very large human man, Daniel Radcliffe.
That'd be awesome.
The scale's all weird. You're like, isn't Daniel Radcliffe like 5'7"? I don't like to see him stretched out to be the size of a powerboat. In Universal Studios, there's different types of city streets because that park really operates under the guise of this is where movies are made. And you go to all these different neighborhoods that are supposed to be like stock neighborhoods that, you know, movie studios would use for filming over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to generic New York Street. And from the upper windows, they will have improvisers leaning out in character. They're like, we're some New York couple, like, you know, there's like a husband in a tank top with a cigar, and there's like a wife in a not a bonnet, like a hairnet.
Sure, yeah.
And a house coat, like wheeling her, you know, with got the little clothesline of laundry out the window or whatever. I'm like, what characters do I want to pop out of an upper story window and try to interact with me? And I think it would be very funny if you have to interact with the family from Servant.
Sure, yeah.
So you've got ostentatious...
Improv.
Right. Ostentatious Dorothy Turner, star of the show, people person. She's a TV reporter. That's her job on the show. She'll want to talk with you. And then you just have sinister, shy Leanne in the next window, not looking at you.
Just staring at you. Right.
And then you just have Sean yelling about his latest recipe. Once a day, a Sean comes out with like a pot of something weird. He tries to give you a lobster bisque.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Other characters I'd like to see in the parade, one segment in a parade where there's so when you go to the village, it's parades nonstop. But I think there's also like a main area parade.
Sure.
Like the classic Main Street parade in Disney or whatever. There's gotta be just a pile of all of those dancing firemen from Titan.
Yep.
The scene towards the end where it's like time for their nightly rave and it's just all shirtless, hot young firemen just like onsing down the road. And then we do have like a sexual, her name's not Titan. What is it? Like Alexia? Like she's just sexually dancing on top of a fire truck is the next float in the parade. And sometimes they'll just have characters walking around through the parade that are not like necessarily attached to any one float. They're just part of the energy.
They've just joined the ensemble.
Do you remember the one episode of Review where somebody challenges Forrest McNeil? Forrest, what's it like to be the life of the party? And he makes a party costume that's just his normal like tan blazer, but he's glued all these lights to it. I want him. I want that. I want life of the party, Forrest McNeil.
Perfect.
What else do we want to eat besides Walter's milkshakes and the illicit chicken from Chew?
I have some good food stuff, but before we get to that, let's take a quick break for housekeeping. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. Over on some of our other podcasts, like our Patreon exclusive Pilots Club. Melissa, you and I just recorded an episode on the 2-part pilot of Lost for its 20th anniversary. That's a special one for us since we are big fans of that show. I had a blast talking about it.
Yes.
And even on like my 8th or 9th time watching the pilot episode, still thinking about new stuff of like, okay, cool. Yeah.
You can get so much out of the show, no matter how long it's been or how many times you've already seen it.
So good. Yeah. So go check that out over on the Pilots Club. And for the free version of the Pilots Club, we will be releasing our episode on The Shield. That'll be the next one that's out first Friday of every month for the free version. So check it out. Let's see, right here over on the review show, last episode, we got to talk about The Prisoner, episode 299. That is just a wild show.
You've heard us talk about it in this episode already. You
really have. The one with the parades, just nonstop parades.
The bubble. I can't wait to meet the big rover bubble from
that needs to be one of the characters walking around too.
I gotta hug it.
Bubble.
Gotta hug the bubble.
God, yeah, it's such a bizarre show, but we had a blast talking about it over on the review show. Over on the Captain's Log, the last one we did, I got to talk about some of the TV shows I've been watching, like Homicide: Life on the Street. Melissa, you went to go see Blink twice and Caligula. You also went to a concert recently, a metal concert. Which is shocking.
Extra shocking.
Yeah. And I got to talk a little bit about my trip to Tampa. And Melissa, you had some maddening office experiences that were quite ridiculous and quite funny.
Not the way you think.
Yeah.
Truly not the way you think. I had a maddening office experience.
But yeah, that sort of stuff is always happening over on the Captain's Log. And then last but not least, over on the Reactor Core, our spoiler cast for Deadpool and Wolverine is the most recent thing that we've put out over there. So yeah, go check all that stuff out. That's been a lot of fun. Let's get to some food, some theme park food. Do you want me to start? So I already kind of mentioned, I think it would be neat to have some either one of those plants that tastes like chicken to see
yes.
how can they make that work, or to actually have some kind of chicken speakeasy that's supposed to be this secret, even though like it's not, like it's supposed to be one of the things they want you to go to. All the nosies are out there being like, hey, I hear there's a chicken speakeasy, but if you pay me, I'll let you know where it is, you know? But they have info on all, like, where you can eat, all that good stuff, in and out their little newspaper maps and stuff. Let's see. How many food things did you have? Because I have a mix of like specific dishes or like types of places you could go. Stuff like that.
I think our like so theme parks will have more specialized restaurant areas, but they will also just have the big people eaters where it's like, this is just like a very simple like burger, chicken finger, fry counter. We can get 100 people in and out of here in 10 minutes. Like, It's just like, we're here to feed you, get you in, get you out. This is really just a utilitarian, no frills place. Our cosmic rays, if you will.
Yeah.
I want something like that. It's nothing special. It's basically just like a cafeteria. But they let you throw your own tray around like Paul Rudd in Wet Hot American Summer. You have to bust your own tray, of course. But there's a fake Janine Garofalo there who's like making you put it away, and you have every right to be like, oh.
That's great. Yeah, I thought of that too, of like that, and if I could somehow mix it with the school cafeteria from Pen 15. because it's all just a cafeteria ish, right?
It's Omni cafeteria. Yes,
exactly.
I want to go. This food won't be good, but it'll be served with a real smile. I want to go to Hank Co. Lemonade and Grinder World.
Okay, yeah.
From the Venture Brothers, Hank's little side business.
Good Lord.
Especially the one from like season 4 where he's diversified. It's like 12 different businesses shoved in the garage, and he's taking his dad's stuff and he's selling his dad's stuff back to him at a markup.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I had a couple places like that. Of course, you have to have a Bob's Burgers burger joint.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like even at a place like that, if it's dressed up to be like Bob's Burgers, you should be able to get some other stuff too, like a dang quesadilla from Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Yes.
I think something like that would be great. Of course, there has to be some kind of food challenge that you can do at one of these places with the Chow Down champs cheering you on.
Yes.
That'd be great. Some eating challenge, if it's like rice and some kind of chicken or veggie, who knows what.
There has to be a Toretto family backyard cookout. Sponsored by Corona. All these have to have sponsors.
Indeed. I also have a sandwich shop where you can get the marmalade sandwich from Paddington.
Nice.
Some big, at least a foot long sandwich from Scooby-Doo, right? They either have the really long ones or the really tall ones, right?
Tall.
Yeah. In lieu of the Pen 15 cafeteria, I went with like a Mom's PB&J or ham and cheese, right? Because they're in high school. Their mom might still make their lunch every now and then, you know.
Or whatever Japanese food Maya's mom makes her.
Exactly. Or the beef from the bear. You have to get a beef sandwich.
We're getting to the bear.
Yeah.
a live bear dinner theater. Where it's like, right. Yeah, you're eating, but the important part is that you're watching like the screaming. It's mostly screaming. Eating is secondary.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be really lucky and a despondent Marcus will throw down his rejected donuts on your table and just sit there and sadly eat his donuts.
Yeah, or Maddie Matheson will continue to pour water into your cup as it's spilling on the table, and he's asking how you are. How are you? Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, there would be some great stuff like that. You have to have some kind of desserts from Kentaro, the Sweet Tooth Salaryman. Stuff like that. I feel like you could also have like a fast food place like McDonald's.
Yes.
McDonald's.
The devil works there, part-time or all the time.
Yeah. Indeed.
His choice.
I also have stuff like the like you have to be able to get like a giant monster leg, which is just like a giant turkey leg from Bubble. The monster hunters have hunted the monsters, and you can like I was even thinking when I was traveling back home, when I was in the Tampa airport, they have the like you could do Uber Eats within the airport, so you can order from one of the places in the terminal and then go pick it up. But how neat would it be if you had like Kiki deliver it to you or something like that?
Just an army of Kikis.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunch of identical Kikis.
Yeah,
bringing you your burrito or whatever.
So I thought that would be neat. I thought something like a midnight diner that's only open late at night would be fantastic.
This is what I was thinking is, let's say The Midnight Diner is known to only make like the one thing, or if you come in and you specifically ask you something, the chef's like, if I have the supplies, I'll make it for you. So maybe like once it's a special, like exclusive dining event. No, they've got like a limited menu. So like once a night, they have an actor come in playing a fictional character of one of the patrons, and they ask for something. And that night, that is the second dish you can order. It's like every night you can order the same noodle dish that he makes all the time, or every day there's a secret second dish and you don't know what it is until that character walks in. So you don't know. Well, maybe you get to order spaghetti like today. That. Maybe you get to order the Salisbury steak. We don't know. The story will tell you.
That'd be good fun. I also had a jazz bar from Kids on the Slope.
Okay.
So you could have like a live jazz happening, but then since it's a bar, you could have wine from the Drops of God or Sideways. You could get like the sommelier experience.
Oh, you can drink
right
the fucking Merlot. You can have like the sad meal that he has at the end of the movie where it's not sad. It's triumphant. He's finally letting himself drink his prized bottle of wine, and he's let go of the fact that he's going to wait for something major in his life to change. He's like, I'm celebrating today the way it is, and I'm just going to take my wine to like an In-N-Out burger and pour it in a styrofoam cup secretly there at my table and eat like a good, greasy fast food burger and drink this incredible Pinot Noir. You can have that.
Yeah, those kinds of experiences I think would be great.
And you can meet a walk-around Thomas Hayden Church with the broken nose.
Trying to see. I think that's most of what last but not least, of course we have to have something based on this. Whatever nicer restaurant there is, you need to be able to get something fancy from Hannibal. Like a filet mignon or something like that just looks spectacular, whatever it is. I put a filet mignon, but that's also because I don't know fancy food dishes. But
sure, that'll do. The culinary consultant on Hannibal is a chef named Jose Andres, and he does have a restaurant. Cool. A big Spanish restaurant in Disney Springs, which is the shopping and dining district outside of Disney World, which is free. You can go there at any time and shop and dine to your heart's content. I'm going to spend a whole day there. There's a place called Gideon's Bakehouse that makes like massive Gothic cookies. I'm so excited. But you can go to a restaurant from the guy who designed the Hannibal food.
Cool.
It's not people. It's just paella.
Well, that's what they say. But
it's people, I have a few more ideas. Another thing I really want to see in real life is the giant Gary Busey from The Leftovers.
Yes.
And theme parks, Disney parks specifically, always have something called a weenie. And the weenie is the castle, or it's the big ball in Epcot, or it's the big tree of life in Animal Kingdom. It is a center drawing point, a massive icon for the park. And it gets this name because apparently Walt Disney would come home late after a long day working on the theme park, and he would like and he'd come home and he'd like eat dinner out of the fridge, and he'd get a hot dog out to feed the dog. And he's like, the dog follows me from room to room as long as I've got that hot dog in my hand. Like, the dog follows the weenie. The people follow the weenie in the park. They will be drawn towards the castle.
Okay, sure.
That's why it's called a weenie. And I'm like, what's the massive weenie for our park? What do you think it should be?
The massive weenie. I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. Let's see here. I'm opening up my podcast app so I can look through things again.
We've had various castles. You know, we've watched Young Frankenstein. We've read a number of medieval comics from Red Sonja to Die. I'd love to see a big version of the house from Beetlejuice.
Yeah, the house from
That strange
Beetlejuice
postmodern house
would be really, really good. There has to be some kind of castle or something from Hellboy you could do.
I'd kind of like to see the immense architectural scale of Sidonia. Remember Sidonia and its
Knights of Sidonia, yeah.
That we spent all that time with? And we're like, the story often feels like something is missing, but boy, did this artist work very hard on the architecture of this place.
Right.
He drew so many bridges and tunnels.
I could even see it being like you could have like a Fast and the Furious raceway thing. We didn't even mention that for a ride. You have to have bumper cars, and it has to be Fast and the Furious themed, right?
Oh, I love that it's bumper cars. It's not a serious ride. You'd think you're like in the passenger seat next to Dom Toretto going 80 miles an hour. No, welcome to Roman and Tej's bumper cars.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. There has to be. Oh, I got a good one. The Continental from John Wick. That's
okay.
That
you can stay inside of it, like Hotel Miracosta and Tokyo Disney Sea.
That'd be fun.
Okay. We haven't even asked ourselves, what are the hotels surrounding Reviewtopia? Where do you stay? You can stay at the Continental.
Did the Ghostbusters have a hotel in one of them? No.
We can they go to a hotel. That's where they meet Slimer. But I do love that you were initially asking, what can we make a hotel out of their sad firehouse where they live? And I'm like, sure, I'd love to have a pole in my room. That sounds fun.
Let's see. Any other kinds of big things that could be a giant weenie?
Could be a big sculpture, big statue. I
got another one we could do.
Oh, could be the Baxter Building.
It could be. I try to stay away from like Marvel or Star Wars stuff since
there's a lot out there. Things. Yeah.
Pacific Rim mech. A big giant mech, like they have like the big giant Gundam in Japan, Jaeger. Right? Yeah, yes. Gotta do a big Jaeger.
Cool.
I think that'd be fun too.
That would be neat.
Cool. Back over to my notes here. Do I have any other food thing? The last food thing I have is more so stuff you would get at like convenience stores or gift shops. You'd have to be able to get Scooby snacks. Also, you have to have Reese's Pieces from E.T., right?
Right. Remember him.
Oh, I do have one more thing, and I don't know exactly what it would be, but there has to be some kind of thing that as a couple, you and your partner could get these things and share that. Like you give your partner yours, your partner gives you one. Ignacio and I watched the anime movie I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Okay. And at first I was going to say we're going to enact a love alarm in the park. And I'm like, we don't need a love alarm. That's not helping anyone.
But the name of the movie comes from a couple different things. One is that the main character has pancreatic cancer, or one of them. And there used to be a belief that if a person had some illness in a certain organ, they could eat another organ of that same type and it would heal them. But also there's a more romantic twist on that of if you eat an organ of like of someone you love or care for, that their spirit or their soul will live inside you forever. And so that would just be some. I'm not sure what it would actually be, if it's actually just chicken or something else, right? But you could be like, 2 pancreases, please, and then you do the thing where you like wrap your arms and
like wedding cake.
yeah.
Another restaurant we
Exactly.
need to have. We got to go to the Pie Hole from Pushing Daisies.
I was thinking about that. Yep.
That's also, there's just singing and dancing there too. There's singing and dancing everywhere. At Universal Studios, and they've had this in Disney's Hollywood Studios sometimes too, there will be the behind the scenes attraction where it's kind of a show about how they make something. Like, here is back in the 90s, they're like, here's an episode of Xena. You need to help us, audience. Finish this episode of Xena. We need somebody to record the ADR. And they're like teaching you all the stuff that goes into a TV production.
Right.
They're like, we need ADR. Can somebody come up here and yell like Xena? And you get some mom to volunteer out of the audience. It's like, we need somebody to help us complete these special effects. I think we need one of those. And this is the only like sincere thing. We need a presented by Mockery Manor. This is how you do the voices and Foley work for an audio fiction podcast. Like, we can't do a theme park themed episode and not mention Mockery Manor.
Sure.
That audio drama we covered about a haunted theme park. I would love a behind the scenes experience that just shows people this is what goes into one of those. You record it. You're an audio drama now.
Yeah, indeed. I think that'd be fun. Even if it was a look behind the scenes of the like Disney Imagineering type of thing of like, here's how we make some of these rides here. If they could somehow leave people with more knowledge of that so they could appreciate my Mission Impossible stunt show that's happening, right? They know all the hard work that goes into all of that.
That one's serious. This one is less serious. I would love the same one of those, but it's like, hey, audience, we really need your help hunting a mind today. Do you want to learn how to hunt minds?
Do you want to catch a serial killer?
Do you want to help the team from Mindhunter?
It's the characters of Mindhunter, but doing all the bits from Dora the Explorer. Or Blue's Clues. What was that? What did you say?
I'll just get out my handy dandy Holden notebook. Gotta get out my handy Holden notebook. Write the clue down in a big crayon. All the serial killers you have to help them hunt are like also in the park. You gotta find Hannibal or Robert the Tire. the kid from Power of the Dog.
God, that'd be great. Yeah.
I don't know if I want this to be a ride or like a once a year. You know, Universal Studios, they're doing Halloween Horror Nights right now, and they put up these elaborate horror mazes. Some original, some for IPs. Which sounds very craven to frame it that way. These things look really creative. Sometimes it's something in the Universal family, and sometimes it's like, oh, just chupacabras. We just have a chupacabra one. Not tied to any pop culture you've seen before. Yeah, why not? I'm like, what would we have at our Halloween festival like that? If it's like Reviewtopia After Dark, we have these haunted houses. It's like Junji Ito's House of Shivers. Come see the Greasy Boy. Come see the Puppet Family.
Yeah, you'd have to do some kind of haunted house. Even the like Gravity Falls House of Mystery would kind of fit in with that. But even just all the we did that one show, Ghost Stories or something like that is also one of my most forgettable. I don't remember exactly what happened on that, but like there's
a secret Martin Freeman in it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there's Martin Freeman's in it, but also there's an old guy, and you look at the old guy, and you're like, that's Martin Freeman in old man makeup. I know that's him. And he tears it off, and it is him.
But just like a haunted house experience with ghosts from all sorts of different things. There'd have to be a Scooby-Doo exhibit, stuff like that, with all of their things.
I don't know. This is on par with, can you generate an actual living version of the aliens from Attack the Block? If we can crack that, that's our test. If we can crack an Attack the Block alien, we can crack House of Leaves. We can build a House of Leaves.
Yeah. Just shove a bunch of people in an infinite hole.
Infinite dark hallway. You climb upstairs forever. And then there's audio piped in that's just dry academic essays. And then every once in a while, like a tattoo artist from Los Angeles tells you about a one night stand he had. And you're like, I don't know how these things are related to this big dark house.
Yeah. I mean, you could also do like a holiday thing for Christmas if you want to do like a jingle jangle kind of experience, a song and dance thing.
And those newsies know how to hook you up with some jingle jangle if you pass them a 20.
Yeah, go find the Afterlife with Archie gang. They might still have some straight out of Riverdale, you know? Yeah. Go ahead.
I had a final thing that I saved. This is based on, again, I'm bringing some real Disney lore here to the party. Mm-hmm. In Disney's Hollywood Studios, there was a ride called the Great Movie Ride. This was presented in partnership with TCM. And it was just a tram ride that took you through animatronic recreations of iconic scenes from movie history. Like there's the Wicked Witch of the West. There's, we'll always have Paris from Casablanca. There's all of this old stuff in there. And before they built that, there was talk. I forget if this was an earlier idea and then they built the Great Movie Ride, or if this was an idea they had later about how they could spice up the Great Movie Ride, which was to do a Muppet version of it. Yeah, it's all these scenes from cinema history, but presented by Muppets. Yeah, like Kermit is the Wicked Witch of the West or whatever, because he's green. And I want that. I want the Great Muppet Review Show ride, where it's just Muppets presenting scenes from miscellaneous things in review show history. We could fit anything in here. Any Muppet could do it.
Indeed.
The one I keep picturing is Fozzie with his little hat in his hands talking to Kermit. And he's like, oh, Kermit, I don't know what to do. My brother died and I just inherited his restaurant.
Oh, no.
I gotta be a bear like I've never been a bear before, Kermit.
Someone else walks in. Yo, cousin!
That's a Gonzo for sure. Just picture Gonzo in Richie's leather jacket.
The two movie critics of the old guys are the facts.
Oh my god, I love old facts. Old negative facts.
Yeah.
They're just inverse in every way. I mean, Sam the Eagle, I think, is Oliver Platt. He's there to ruin the fun.
Yeah.
Reminds you
mean it's dystopian butter? So I have a bunch of things for a museum or like exhibit style stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to like pick any themes or anything, but the first two I have are music related. I have the drumsticks from Kids on the Slope. I guess you could also do the piano and stuff like that. But I had the guitar from Foolie Cooley. FLCL.
Cool.
I guess you could do the like organ, like the pipe organ instrument thing from Dr. Phibes, right? You could do stuff like that. Whole music exhibit would be a lot of fun.
I want to meet him. He's just playing piano on the street corner, like the piano player outside, just like outside of Casey's Corner in Disney World. But it's just Vincent Price, a silent, terrifying Vincent Price. You know who I want to meet, who I want to be a walk-around character, is a walk-around Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone. And he's just there to tell an ominous story about every other walk-around character. Or like your group. Just Rod Serling does a Twilight Zone monologue about your dad, who's just there with like his camera around his neck.
What you see here might look like an ordinary father of two. But
it would kill. I would love this character.
Other stuff in my museum, I already kind of mentioned the like Scooby-Doo stuff from Mystery Incorporated, since they already had their like exhibits of like, here are all the old masks of stuff. I think that would be neat to see all the old masks from the classic Scooby-Doo cartoon. This is one of my only Marvel things here, a sample of the symbiote. Because we read Venom, Lethal Protector. How neat would that be if it was in like a container and it would like hit, like act like it was hitting the edges of it? Stuff like that.
Again, just a thing that like for real, I would love to see somebody practically recreate and have in a jar. Yeah. Just a symbiote in a jar. How does it work? So cool. How do you do one of those? Magnets?
You have to have like an Ethan Hunt exhibit of his like sunglasses from when he's mountain climbing or something like that, right? Or his worn out
significant
shoes,
moment,
right? His worn out shoes from all his running.
The glove that doesn't work, the two gloves that don't work, and then he can't scale the Burj Khalifa anymore.
Right? Yeah. Maybe some of his handguns or stuff like that he uses, the mask technology, right?
Oh, it's just a museum of things that have self-destructed. So it's just burnt up everyday objects.
Yeah. You could do stuff like that. I even thought of like, you could have like a pencil case or some kind of school supply, something from Pen 15. Like
the pen from Pen 15. It's like the episode of The Simpsons where they go to a museum and it's the Kane from Citizen Kane. Yeah. And Lisa's like, I don't think this is right. Did you see Citizen
Kane? 15 different kinds of pens in the Pen 15 exhibit. There's gel pens. That's what it was about. Ink pens. There's roller pens. There's... let's see. I think it'd be neat
the skateboard from A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Yeah, something like that would be really, really cool. I thought of like something you can walk through to get to like a new section of the museum. I think that'd be neat for that would be like the train car from the Earth Collective, the audio fiction that they're on a train the whole time.
I thought you were going to say the train car from Murder on the Orient Express, and it has the neon signs floating in the air that are from the trailer where everybody's labeled with what their role is.
Sure, yeah. And you can sit in each chair and take selfies, right? Of like, I'm
the Duchess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the businessman.
That'd be good. That'd be good too.
Tag yourself. I'm Willem Dafoe.
The Professor and Mary. Wait, that's not right. What else do I have here? It'd be neat to have like one of the journals from Gravity Falls, stuff like that.
A walkthrough exhibit of sad bachelor apartments.
Yeah,
you can see.
the Matthew McConaughey's
Yeah. You can stare at the little mirror from True Detective. You can see Holden Ford's one glass and one plate and one bowl.
Amazing. Oh, so good, so good. I also had some like the remnants of what they found from the terror.
Oh, scary.
So like rope or some kind of supplies, some of their crates and boxes and stuff like that. I think that'd be neat. I have the watch from Ben 10, the Omnitrix.
Oh, the Omnitrix.
Yeah. Here's one I thought would be fun, a whole exhibit on the anatomy of gremlins. You can see like their like x-rays of what their bones look like. You can see like a dissected gremlin, all sorts of stuff like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There has to be some.
I don't know if I want the. I just think this is less of an exhibit. I think it would be funnier if this was just part of Carnival Row, just an "Are You Good" booth sponsored by The Good Place, and there's just a Ted Danson tallying up all of your deeds.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
You can throw a football, you can shoot a water gun, you can find out if you're going to hell or not.
It has to be, you know how they have like the Disney app or like the Fast Pass like wrist thing.
Oh my god, you're marked for the whole day.
Yes, all of the stuff you do. It's like, oh, so I see you scored a 392 on the whack gremlin. Well, I guess you have the high score. Like, you're in the good place now, right? Or like, no,
I'd
you're
love
not in
if
the
you
good
have
place.
a wristband that's like your what your score for everything we could score you on. It's like, are you in the good place or
It's
the
all
bad
that.
place? Were
It's
you
all
left
the food you bought? Like, oh, you're real gluttonous, huh?
No.
You bought all that food? Wow. All right.
It's like, were you leftover or not leftover in the leftovers? It's like, which universe did you live in Fringe? It's
Yeah.
It's like you're back on Tumblr and somebody's profile's got a bunch of little badges on the side of it. You have to wear that on your arm all day.
What else do I have here? There has to be some kind of like fashion section so you can get stuff from Princess Jellyfish. I even thought of like the Venture Burrow's speed suit. Yeah, or like his kerchief thing that he has. He wears all of their outfits, stuff like that.
Another thing I want in Carnival Row, where Carnival Row is usually a test of strength or a test of agility or something like that. One of them's just Billy Quizboy giving you dumb trivia.
Yeah.
It's a test of mind, and the test of mind is like, no, I don't remember this one episode of Knight Rider.
Yeah, it's all like really obscure stuff that no one would know.
No, I don't know the first toy line Kenner ever released, Billy. And he's like, well, then you don't get a prize. Prize is a Rusty Venture doll.
No, I don't know the answer, Billy Quizboy.
Quizboy. You get to see that's what you chow down on is the pennies.
Right. Yeah. I also had a Tron arcade cabinet, but I think I have a better idea. Earlier on, you mentioned the like place to your like sci-fi land retro futurism,
yes.
Like the world of tomorrow today. What if you could metaphorically get sucked inside of a Tron arcade cabinet because the door was behind the Tron arcade cabinet, and then you could go in that, and there you are in the world of tomorrow.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
What other lands should we have? I thought about having a fantasy land, and then I thought about how most of the fantasy we've had has been like real gnarly. I don't want to go to the world of Kieran Gillen's Die. Nobody does. That's the point of Die.
Well, you could be reincarnated as a slime.
Okay, the slime world's fun. Kroll is a great place to be, I think.
Yeah.
Kroll's pretty friendly.
Yeah.
I'd love welcome to Fantasyland, but there's severe tonal shifts. You're either with a great group of friends or you are going to be dead.
Other lands.
Instead of Autopia, there's a Wages of Fear where you have to go very, very slowly or your car explodes.
Other lands we could do. I don't know.
I want to go to the left-right game.
Yeah?
They describe a lot of very odd places and sites in the left-right game. I want to see all the weird deer.
I was even thinking, because we've already done like the cafeteria for like high school stuff. What if it's just like a high school, like high school land,
just
and it's
all
the animes that we've watched that are yeah, it's all the animes and everything we watched that took place in high school. Pen 15. It's not Wodakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku, but like that kind of stuff.
I'm in love and it's the end of the world.
Yeah, that one. All of the high school stuff.
As maybe we can put it in high school land, but I want to see all the chairs from Madoka Magica. You can, there's one area that it's snowing. Like they make a snow day for snow day.
Yeah. Snow day one would be fun. Winter Wonderland. You
can see the big whale carved out of snow. And the girl's like, the whale isn't my favorite animal. I like zebras. Why'd you do
that? To get back to the museum thing, though, we also got the haunted typewriter. That'd be fun to see from typewriter.
Would love to see typewriter. Come see the scary baby mask from Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
I'm just going through our whole list of topics. I'm just going
to a good mask exhibit. All of the masks that we've seen. I think would be a good one. Last couple things I have on here would be like the ballet slippers and the leotard and stuff from Black Swan. One of the bombs that Jinx makes in Arcane. Something like that would be fun. Even the tornado tech from Twister, those like metallic balls.
A Dorothy
that they have.
pod? Yeah.
It'd be neat to like hold one of those things and see what they look like.
That's one of the restaurants you can go to is Helen Hunt's aunt's house, where she makes you steak and eggs.
There you go. You have to have one of the flowers from Adaptation. That needs to be in the museum.
That's one of our gift shops is just a beautiful. You can buy that in the Little Shop of Horrors. You can go and sincerely buy a very nice plant, and also there's a big animatronic singing at you.
Yeah,
take an orchid home.
Last but not least, for my museum, the grand finale, Hellboy's horns. How sweet would that be? Because he always like cuts them off, right? That'd be neat. Or his crown, his like flat 2D crown. That's
love.
Yeah,
love that crown.
That'd be good. That's all I had. That's everything on all my lists there.
You did so much work for this. Thank you for fully showing up for this idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did not have as much prep time as I wanted. Boy, was this fun to try and put together.
Yeah. It's a good time for sure. Yeah, there's all sorts of different lands we could do, all sorts of different like themed celebrations. I did also have a you mentioned no love alarm stuff, but I thought in the museum like a love themed exhibit could be fun. And to have some kind of like love alarm, like how compatible are you and your partner kind of thing, right? Something like that would be neat, but that could also I guess fit in the like carnival row side of things.
Oh yeah, they can have one booth.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. I don't know, man. We've covered
we could
so
go
much
for a long time. We have covered such a deep bench of things and stuff that I've forgotten, but I love that we've gone so long and we've covered such a vast array of things that there is space to have forgotten something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like forgetting something is a luxury, kind of. Not everyone had to read a whole comic series and talk about it with their friend on a podcast episode several years ago. And you still do the podcast with your friend and you still read a bunch of comics and you're like, I don't remember that one anymore. Yeah. But that's okay because we still did it. And there's many others absolutely. I get to remember.
Absolutely. So yeah, this has been a blast. I think 300 episodes is a huge milestone.
Yes. Name one bigger. Name a bigger number than 300. I dare you.
301, Melissa. But yeah, thank you to everyone out there who's listening. We could not do this without you. Thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. Melissa, thank you for jumping on the Whatnauts here, sticking this out for so long. It's been incredible. You've been fantastic.
What else would I do with my time?
Go to the mall, go see more movies. I don't know.
I see plenty of movies. This really gets me out there. I've seen such a wide variety of things, stuff that's really added to how I look at art, how I think about it, how I seek things. It's a great way to learn about yourself and really, like, we've tried so many different things. That was the goal. You called yourselves back in the day the Whatnauts because we're astronauts. We just go out there and we're like, what's over here? What's on Netflix this month? Right. But we've learned like what really works for us and what things have we done enough times we're like, I think we're good on that. Now we can dive deeper into the things we really do love. Yeah. Like we're always like learning and processing and honing and pushing towards a greater tomorrow.
Indeed. Greater tomorrow. Today. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did not expect this show to make it to 300 episodes. So it's incredible that we are here. I mentioned on our first round of trying to do episode 300 that I don't know if we will make it there or not, but in the back of my mind, episode 500 is my next goal. I would love to get to 500 episodes. It'll take us a handful of years to get there, but yeah, I think it's a good goal to have, but we shall see.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So here's to us, my last little bit of whiskey here.
I drank my whole mudslide.
That is A-okay. But cheers anyways to us here.
Next time on the review show, and because we are recording this episode late, by next time I mean in like 3 days.
Yes.
We are embarking upon our annual tradition of Shame Timber. A great thing we discovered like a couple years in. I love these traditions that we started midway through, like Shame Timber and National Treasure Weekend. And Danuary. I insist we continue with Danuary, a celebration of people named Dan.
Please do. That is the one that I always forget. And then whenever you mention it, I'm just like, oh yeah, that was brilliant. Let's keep that up.
I've got my next Danuary on lock. I know what we're doing next month.
Great. Well, what are we doing this next episode?
For the month of September, we call it Shame Timber, and it is our goal to watch movies that are on our lists of shame. Things where it's like, I can't believe you've never seen that. Either for general, that's a major pillar of pop culture, or why have you, with your tastes and your life experience, never seen this one thing? That's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
this is our month to catch up on that. And this month we assigned each other shame timbers. So our next episode is that you assigned me Looney Tunes Back in Action, the early aughts film starring Brendan Fraser et al.
Yeah. Good stuff indeed.
We'll tell you right now, coming up after that, because it's even funnier when you mention them both together.
All right. Hello, this is Kyle with a quick note from me editing the podcast. Episode 300 continues to be plagued by technical difficulties at this little segment here. Melissa's microphone cuts out. I have no idea why. It's just gone. But long story short, next week on the podcast for episode 301, we are watching Looney Tunes Back in Action. That is the shame timber pick that I assigned to Melissa. And then the following week, the week after that, is Zodiac. Melissa assigned that one to me. So I think that's a great 1-2 punch of Looney Tunes and Zodiac. But yeah, I think we will have a blast this month. So yeah, that is it. Back to the last few seconds of the show. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer. If you want to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts official on Threads. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, we got more videos on that side of the screen right over there. Go check them out. That would help us out a bunch too. And yeah, this has been number 300, the Whatnauts review show. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.